favorite villain, Tony, dude. You're the ultimate heel.
Hey, man. Yo, I gotta talk to you about how these damn
Hello.
tiebreakers are, for ESPN. Dude, it's a three-way tie, alright, with two others. And I was 2-0 against one, 1-0 against the other, and I got left out because of points. I lost Barkley, Sutton, Mostert, Kittle. I was losing guys middle of the game.
Dude, I had Gibson go down Monday to get into the playoffs, and I lost by 8 points, dude.
Yeah,
and now you can't get in the end zone.
For sure.
Right in the face. There's no counter.
Who you said Snell, you said? Is that what you said, or who?
Yeah, I had Snell and Gibson. I needed 14 points between the two of them. Gibson gets 14 yards and gets hurt.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, you lost before Gibson was up. What's up?
That hurts right here, bro.
Hey, man, true story. Fantasy football hurts, dog. I swear.
You know what hurts even more is when your coach is too much of a coward to take his pounding from OSU. So all your smart all day. I'm so tired.
But look how Michigan, the AD from Michigan was like, you know what? Let's vote them in. He's the first one to speak up.
All right, guys, let's get it rolling. I just had to post this on both of our social media accounts, and I just shared it. So, guys, how's it going, everybody? This is Omar Thabit on Motivate Me 313. We have some familiar faces on the show today. It looks like we're having a fantasy guys show. This is like week 5? I think we had Jesse on, or week 4. You got Tony sitting next to me in the Zoom call to the right, depending on what you're looking at. You got my brother Moti, who's sitting below Tony. And then you got Jesse the Don Donahue is in the building on Motivate Me 313 once again. We will have Dave coming in. He said that he's driving. Something came up, but he said he will log on. So expect Dave to pop in sometime during this debate. But let's get the show on the road. Let me go over the rules right quick. You guys.
You don't like no rules, man. Cut it out.
Well, these things have to be. These things have to be said, so I'm gonna say it. So first and foremost, you guys get 2 minutes to answer each question. Don't have to use up the full 2 minutes. Tony, of course, is gonna take about 5 minutes, but it's okay because that's what Tony does. All right. Dave is coming in, guys. Dave is in the building. I want to put you guys next to your teammates. So Jesse the Don right here, and I'm put Dave Farver next to Moti because this is the team. All right, there you go. So Dave is in the building. Remember to be professional, respect someone's answer. Audience may comment, ask questions. If you guys have any thoughts, please feel free to share them. All things said during this debate do not reflect my thoughts, beliefs, and opinions on the topic. This is a platform for people to speak and for me to be the moderator. At the end, you guys can comment who won, message us for any debate ideas, and if you want to take part in the debate. By the way, the new format goes like this. Dave Farver and Moti, we are officially the debate night team. So anybody that wants to debate, just know that David Farver and Moti is on there, and you guys will be debating them. They're ready to have some fun with that, so be sure to, if you guys want to debate anything, again, remember that Dave Farver and Moti is part of the team, so they'll be the ones ready to debate, for or against whatever that topic is. Today's topic is really simple. Is social media a good or bad thing? If you guys want to comment, feel free to comment your thoughts and opinions on this. But that's why we have the debate night team here. First of all, Dave, are you here, by the way?
Go.
All right, we wanted to make sure that you're here, Dave. I know we don't see you right now. We wanted to make sure you're still here, though.
The black screen is the same thing as saying.
Yeah, basically. I didn't want to say it, but you said it, so I'm glad you did, Dave. I'm glad you did, all right? But Moti's name is follow me on Instagram. Moti, you don't even have an Instagram. What's your Instagram, Moti?
No.
I ain't got one, man. I'm just going with the flow.
Going with the flow, all right? You know what I was hoping your answer was going to be? Motivate Me 313, all right? But Moti gets those lines ready for fantasy guys. He's still working on that Motivate Me 313 stuff. But let's get it rolling. We got people watching. Let's get it started.
I'm going to try my best to stay out of this little circle because people are going to think that, take a screenshot and go no Tony. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
anti.
I just want to let you know that I Hate Tony Week was a success, by the way. I just want to let people know that I Hate Tony Week was a success. Moti Week was a success. So it all worked out for the people involved. But let's get started with the first question. And to go with this first question, I'm actually going to start off with the good. So this is Dave, Farver, and Moti. They're representing the good of social media. Tony and Jesse are representing the bad. So I'm going to let Moti go first. Why can social media be a good thing, Moti?
Well, man, there's multiple benefits on what, but I'm going to give you guys a few. First of all, social media connects you with the people that you normally are not connected with.
I'm surprised you ain't say, let me tell you something.
But let me tell you something. Alright? No, but it connects you with the people that you're not normally connected with. I'm talking about the people from, out of the country, those relatives that, that you're not in communication with. You could see kind of, what they're doing every day. And maybe communicate with them. And you guys go back and forth with that. Mm-hmm. Also, very importantly nowadays, people using social media as a business. People are actually making a lot of money now, off Instagram posts, and whatever they're doing, So those are two very important things, social media I think is, it's a positive.
Dave Farver, do you want to add on to that, sir?
Using it as a business. We was actually discussing it yesterday. This little kid on YouTube, it's like worth $100 million just be opening for it. You know what I mean? So it's like, that anybody would have never known or seen that ever if it wasn't for social media. And just staying connected with like family members and things like that. That's what I personally use it for. So that's why it's a benefit for me.
All right, there you go. Dave Farver is agreeing with Moti with his comments. So Jesse Donahue, I'm gonna dish it off to you. Why can social media be a bad thing, Jesse Donahue?
Come to the hole, grab that ball, and just bang it right in the end zone right off the stop. If there was no social media, you know who else you would never know about? Justin Bieber, dude. That's a point for us. Because that's how we got it. That's one for the good.
Hold up, you're not a believer?
I'm not a believer.
You look like a believer, man.
Yo,
boy. I thought you had cool friends over. I didn't know he was going to cross some lines like that. Right? Oh, my computer bad.
That's hilarious.
My internet.
No, we hear you. We hear you, Jess.
Kids, turn off the internet.
But go ahead, Jess. Continue on. Yeah, he definitely froze. Definitely froze up on us. So it's time. It's time for Tony to take over.
That's why he don't like social media, because he froze on us.
There you go. Tone Beasy, what are your thoughts?
Now here's my thing, man. Nobody got nothing to. Go ahead, Jess. You're back.
Go ahead, Jess. You're back. There you go.
I'm sorry about that. I lost my flow there.
There you go. Right. You're good.
Right. To hit the Bieber point, because that was just a nice little easy one. The other thing we talk about is you mentioned connections, right? So you're right. Well, let me ask you this. Go look at anybody's feed. You pick anyone's feed, start sliding through there. What are they connecting about? Is a superficial connection a real connection? I can get more than 5 minutes of personal conversation with my boy Omar to last 6 months on the internet. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to repeat this a lot here because it is the foundation of my argument against it, is that it's superficial. And what is superficial and not found here is pointless. You better off taking a walk down the street with the dog. That's my 2 starting points there, boys.
All right, that's his starting point. Tony, what is yours?
You get a minus point for talking to Omar for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It would be more than that. Now, here's my only thing, right? I don't think anybody's against social media per se, right? The problem is for me, it's social media in the hands of children that cannot handle that kind of pressure that comes with it. It's way too much. It's going to create envy, jealousy. It creates a lot of negativity around watching the highlight reel of other people's lives, and they don't even know the backstory of it. That's my only thing. They start comparing themselves like, why not them?
All All right, there you go. That's his starting off point. And there's all some great points.
That's anywhere though, bro. That's anywhere. Like even before social media, you see somebody in school that you was envious. I mean, that's just natural. I mean, it's on a more broad span with social. I mean, with social media, but all that stuff was happening even before it came out, bro.
Anybody want to comment off of that one, Tony? Because that's also true. I mean, that's a good comment. Nothing.
Hey, listen, you're watching still images of people, and you don't see anything that's happened before. Like, you can see a pic of somebody's social media feed, and it's all about their happy moments. You don't realize all the tough moments they're going through. Whereas compared to if you're seeing somebody in school, I mean, you're going to find out about their struggle and how they got there.
All right, that's some good back and forth so far to start us off. Very good. I'm gonna go ahead and let Tony start this one since he was the last one. All right, do you believe social media? And I know Jesse has. I have that picture for you, Jesse, for this next question, so it's ready for you. So Tony, do you believe social media builds relationships or actually hurts relationships? Tone B's.
I mean, for the most part, if you look at a gathering, family gathering, dinner, whether it's just people hanging out, most people are on their phones. So you tell me, when you see all of that, you think it's building relationships or essentially, just everybody's in their own little pod? What are you doing, man? Why are you changing this up on me? You're confusing me.
No, just keep talking because it's what.
A negative thing about social media. Like, I don't know where to look right now on my screen.
I know, because I'm sharing an email, but go ahead, continue on what you're saying, man. I'm sharing an email that was between Jesse and another friend, and it's leading up to his topic. I just wanted to make sure I got it ready. But continue on, Tone.
Well, I mean, that was pretty much it. Like I said, you see a family gathering, and you see everybody on their phones. Interactions between them.
Okay. All right. So, before I asked Jesse this question, he shared this with me, and so this is why I came up with this question. Do you believe social media builds relationship or hurts relationship? And this is an example of how social media can be hurting for some people. All right, some people. So I guess Jesse, I don't know what the backstory is basically, but long story short, this is a response to somebody for Jesse, and he wanted me to share this with everybody. And this is, again, social media had everything to do with this situation. So it says that I saw that I don't think I ever have. I don't want to see you, be in contact with you, or have any interaction with you in the future. You are stupid, blank is the F word and the A word. You always have been. I don't give a smack about your kids, your wife, or any other thing about your worthless life. If you died tomorrow, I could not care less. I hope I never see you again. Have a nice life, all right? So, with that said, Jesse the Don Donahue wanted me to share that. Again, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you believe social media can build or hurt relationships? First of all, you want to talk about that story and then answer the question?
I want to talk about what I can control, right? So that's somebody I live with in college. That's a friend. Those are your real friends. And I want to talk about, for here, some people, I didn't open up about this to talk to you. My two best friends and my wife knew about it. And the truth is, and looking it back over at me, this friend of mine was Trump supporter, whatever else, and I'm really hard on politics. I really am. I do believe that words matter. But that aggressive approach has cost me friends. And the important point I want to make is that this is my fault. Like, I don't blame somebody else. I responded to someone earlier, and I sometimes you don't realize something's pretty smart later on. So what I regret more is the lack of comforting conversation between that man and I that maybe would have saved my relationship, right? Than I do be asking his forgiveness. And I don't know what happened there. But the truth is, when you put out harsh, hateful things, it's really easy when you're hurt. Hurt people do hurt things. When Trump came into office, my school in Southwest Detroit, we had 5 kids get deported. I'm talking kids who were trying to get DACA, trying to get, good kids, like people that I care about. And I know, teachers, we all feel that as teachers, right? But it hits home, and it's kind of like the COVID thing. when people say it isn't real, but if you go to my school's webpage, they got a list of, I think it's up to 25 people who passed away that were either students, little 5-year-old girl, you know what I mean, family members, whatever, and you get attached to this and then you get hurt. And this is where I think social media, it really gets into how we control ourselves and how we communicate. So I want to be crystal clear, the fault is mine, right? I can't control what another man does. I don't think I deserve that response, but for someone to hate you that bad, that means he was hurt too, man. You can only hurt from that. And if there's no Facebook, if there's no conversation, I don't think it comes to that. And you got to take full responsibility for it. I just think that as a society, we've come to these flip conversations and jokes, and we'll put stuff out there. But words matter both ways. And it was very deep. It cut me hard because I realized the role that I played. For someone to hate you like that, you hurt them. And you know, you're a religious man, Omar. I'm a religious man. I believe that we have responsibilities to our, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. And obviously I did not support that person, you know, and there's other stories too. I reached out to a cousin recently because I told her to F off just in the middle of some random thing about, you know, politics, and she didn't deserve that, you know. And I took my son with me when I was going to make a phone call. And Xavier said, you know, what are you going to do if she doesn't forgive you? And I said, and this is very important. This is going to be my number one argument. Like, she don't have to forgive me. You're not owed forgiveness. Just because you feel bad doesn't change how someone else feels. And one of the tough things about social media is that that's out there in front of everyone. You know, that stuff never goes away, and you can really show your most rotten self. And I don't know what it is about human beings, but I had a grandpa who say, one oh hell sure deletes 10 attaboys, you know? And it can really, you got to think about how we relate. And the nature of Facebook, you know, the vitriol, you know, like the words that we put around it, you know, what we see on Instagram. Facebook is tame, that's family. Go on and see some Snapchats and things, and some of the stuff I've seen students go through, you know, to have someone who, you know, countless, I don't want to share their stories, but, you know, hurt by things other people said. Words matter, and if we can't control them, then we really shouldn't do it, you know? And that's where I get into, like, you definitely have the power to really hurt someone online in a way that you couldn't and wouldn't do in public. And I'm not against it at all. I just think we need to take a step back from the vanity of the selfie where I take it on Christmas morning with the kids to, and what am I telling the world? Oh, look, I got money. Look, I got this, I got that. What are we showing out there? I mean, even the people, if you're work, we used to go down to my brother's keeper and we do meals, right? We feed people, right? But then you take a picture and what are you really saying about yourself? What are you sharing? Because are you being that role model, or in your heart of heart are you saying, look, I'm a good person? And it's a hard line to walk, and it's a hard year to be a good person. I think we've all been pushed so far, you know, and that's why you see these terrible dialogues. People talk about it was traditionally the Thanksgiving table, where that would be the metaphor people use for fighting with their opponents. This year, the front line is everywhere. And it's still there. It's a layer on, can you hurt people? That poor woman who worked for Michigan with tallying votes, you know, and you got people with machine guns in their front yard. You don't get that without the internet, you know, and we all got to just hit that stop button. Quit hitting the like button and hit the stop button.
Yeah.
You know, and just think about it. Go for a walk. Go see a friend. Put that time in. I know that it's magnified because we cannot healthfully be around multiple people, right?
Yeah.
You know, I would just say, you know, it can bring out, for me, it brought out the worst in me. I feel like, I'm at a drug, Alcoholics Anonymous, you know what I mean? And my addiction was talking smack on the internet, but just going so hard and not thinking about the wreckage you leave behind you, you know, for people who care.
Yeah, let's get one thing.
You definitely should have started with, hi, my name is Jesse Donahue. Hi, Jesse.
Yeah.
Peace, Jesse.
No, yeah.
You hate Tony. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by the way, I just want to let you guys know, social media definitely is an addictive habit for people, and, you know, there's no hiding behind it. It's probably the most most addictive thing in the world today probably is social media and being on and stuff like that. But Dave Farber, that was why social media can build bad relationships. Dave Farber, why can social media build good relationships?
I mean, not to say that, your story or take out of your story, but I mean, I think that's a good thing that actually happened, because that's honesty right there. It's unfortunate that it came out the way it came out, but I mean, I wouldn't want to be a friend with somebody that I knew felt a certain way about me because I felt a different way about something they felt strongly about. So, I mean, maybe that was something he couldn't say to you face to face or over the phone, and it was easy for him to put it down, in that email or whatever. But as far as other things that is positive for it, is again, like we said prior to that. I mean, there's a lot of ways that people can express themselves that, again, they might not be able to express themselves face to face. Like all these young people that are doing these comedians or these singers or all these people that are entertaining. All these things possibly wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for social media. And I know he was harping on Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? I am a believer, but it's more than just Justin Bieber that made it big off of social media. And again, they might not have had these opportunities if it wasn't allowed because of social media.
And Moti, you want to touch on this topic of why it builds good relationships?
Yeah, for sure. Jesse, I'm sorry you had to go through that. The dude wasn't your friend, or maybe I don't know if it was a girl or a boy, but they weren't your friend from the beginning. If they feel that way about you. But if you guys think about it, social media, especially during this time, during this COVID time where everybody's at home, I think it played a huge role in people's lives in a positive way. You guys brought up Justin Bieber, artists, musicians, they did a lot of virtual concerts for the fans through social media. So, right now social media is entertaining people. They're keeping it sane. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it. But yeah, it's there's more positive things. Like I'll give you an example. Fehmi got a family, back home, Jesse, and that he grew up with, and he played soccer. Then he lost communication with them. So if Fehmi posts a picture about his life or his kids, those kids that he left back home could see Fehmi's life now. You know what I'm saying? And that's a positive. You know what I'm saying? Because some people might think that he came to America and changed up on him. So yeah, those are two positive things about
Yeah, definitely.
I just learned something about Fahmy that I didn't know. So
yeah.
Fahmy is a baller.
Yeah, that's a positive.
Yeah, Fahmy.
This saying that we say.
I can relate. Huh?
What was that, Tony?
What'd you say?
Guys, so what? Alright? Everybody knows what that is. Whoever knows what it is, we gotta keep it clean here.
Alright.
But Fahmy did not play soccer. He didn't have friends back home. I don't know how old Fahmy is, but yeah, man, social media, like I said, man, it's got its good and its bad. I mean, it's one of those situations where if you're not careful, you like with these kids, man, especially with these kids, man, you essentially bring in bullying right into your home if you guys are not careful.
Alright, I just want to say two things. Number one, that boy said Gaiso, it's Giso, okay? So you need to say it correctly, Tony. And then second of all, we have Chris Donahue mentioned that cold-blooded. I think it was when I was reading off the message that Jesse sent me. And then Dennis Donahue said the Charlie thing. And then he said, good job with what you were talking about. Just wanted to... Go ahead, Jesse. Look like you about to say something?
The Charlie. We got this crazy cousin who just stalks us. And he'll say horrible things to my wife, about my dad, about me, and he'll never go away. And I forgot all about that. It makes stalking easy. Like he'll just show up randomly on a post with just a random name saying like he told me that my kids would make good blood stains. And then that's crazy stuff when that person knows now he's a coward. He ain't gonna do it to my face. But now I gotta worry about all the time when the kids were little whether or not that you gotta watch for some psycho like that. When my dad was trying to sell a bass amp, and this cousin of mine, I don't even shit. He went and started putting them down, saying he said horrible things to my wife. I mean, things he'll say to her, or what he'll call her. I mean, it's downright despicable. That is another side of this too, is that cyberbullying, that ability to really mess with your life. I got some high school kid I went to school with who I blocked him, but he'll pop up anywhere I am, anywhere else, and all he does is call me a commie, socialist, loser, like, and he'll make and he just attacks me everywhere. So if I put a picture of my kids up, that's what he's gonna do. I've got friends who don't want to even share things with him, because he'll hop on there. That is another side of it. We grown ass men, we're 40, we ain't got time to be dealing with stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, when you get into that pool of social media, that's a slimy pool. That's all. And I know that you can bring the cleanliness, you can bring good and that connecting with friends back home. I do think that that's special. I give you a thumbs up on that.
Bring my friends back home, man.
All right, Dave Favre, I'm going to give you the next question, which is, people use social media as a way of advertising. Why is that an important thing to take note of? Because essentially, social media is free advertising. So, Dave, why is that important, man?
Because you can reach such a broad aspect of just people, man. You know what I mean? It's just so easy too. It's easy. It's free. That's number one. That's a lot of things that like a commercial. I don't know how much a commercial costs. Look at Farming with the Hands. This guy plugs Coney Cafe anytime he can, and that's just right now. People watching. I just said Coney Cafe. Free advertising.
Free advertising.
So, it's free. Yeah, it's free. It's easy. Anybody can do it. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah, Moti, you want to add on that? Why is that an important thing, man?
To advertise, yeah, man.
The advertising on social media, like that's a huge aspect of why social media is great. So why is that important?
Oh, for sure. Before we played basketball yesterday, I was talking with a couple of guys about how people are making money on Instagram. From what I heard if you got like 100,000 followers, you can make up to $1,000 each post. That you post. So, if you think about it, those that have 1 million followers, 2 million, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of revenue. Tax free.
Yeah, for sure. Tony, my question to you. First of all, you guys want to say a comment off of that, Tony and Jesse? I'm thinking y'all would agree to that.
I gotta make one point though. You gotta remember what you're selling to is you. They tracking you and what you do, and I think you're right. But just remember, if it's free, what's being bought and sold is you and your time in those pictures.
Yep.
That's all.
Yeah, watch the Social Dilemma on Netflix. Very great movie. That's exactly what they were talking about. But Tony, go ahead. You wanna comment on?
A cafe or Grub never mentioned. It's never a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
But the only thing is, I honestly believe that you talk about the people with the millions, 100,000 followers, millions of followers. That's a good and a bad thing to have that much influence on people where they don't know anything about you except what you post. Like these people are getting paid to promote certain things, and they don't even use these what they're promoting. They don't even believe in what they're promoting. My friend, I think it was our cousin, he posted something saying that the founder of, I think it was Facebook, he's over there in the corner with a picture of him in the corner reading a book. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he created the poison and he's not using it. So I think advertising could be a great thing, but we gotta be careful because you have these YouTubers, the bloggers, like these guys have so much influence on millions and millions of people. And I don't think, these kids unknowingly are looking up to these people as role models rather than looking up to their parents and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a conversation that we can definitely get into. So my next question is starting off with Tony on this one. I think, Jesse, did I start off a question with you already or no? Did I start off something with you already? Okay.
Yeah.
So Tony, and then you'll be next, Jess, can social media be addicting and why can that be a bad thing?
Can it be addicting? Look, I'm telling you, man, the world has gone, like, they're playing a very, very dangerous game with that. Like, people, I'm telling you, we could be in a room, gathered together on a Saturday, and you got 5 people looking at their feeds, you got most of them looking at videos, you know? And it's like, rather than the interaction amongst each other, everybody's sitting isolated in their own little, you know, world, and, you know, we pop in every now and then. That's really all it is. I mean, addiction, you know, like you brought up Social Dilemma, man, they were bringing up facts of how they've done all this research, all the formulas, and like everything is trying to make it addicting.
Yeah.
Like the goal behind it is to try to make it addicting to a point where they know what you're looking at, why you're looking at it, and it's just popping up. Like, how many times have I had conversations, man? They call them smartphones for a reason, man. You know, like, social media can be a great thing, but I could be having a private conversation with somebody about a particular product, and next thing you know, I'm looking at my email, or I pop on, you know, the Facebook or Instagram, and boom, I get an ad for that. Like, I didn't even type it in, nothing.
Yeah, definitely. They AI intelligence, they talk about it in that movie. That movie is definitely a recommendation. I'm actually watching it with my middle school students right now these days, and just to go over that with them. So Jesse Donahue, you mentioned like sugar in McDonald's fries. I didn't even know McDonald's fries has sugar, man. Their fries are definitely addicting. But Jesse the Don, you want to touch on how is social media addicting, and why could that be a bad thing?
Well, it's definitely addictive. I don't think you could argue that it's not. And the problem is, and we see this with young adults especially, and how our brains developed, and their addiction with who they are online, and they become an avatar. They're not a real person. They're what they're selling. You know, you go back to that advertising. What are you marketing? You know, and you building walls, right? And I'm not talking putting on makeup so you look pretty. I'm talking about building walls to the world around us. And what you have is a bunch of people selling perceptions of themselves to other people selling perceptions of themselves, creating these false and fake relationships, man. That it's a strong addiction. We're only now getting the data, but I'll tell you this. When they really break it down, it's as bad as cigarettes. It's as bad as anything, you know. And you take a phone from a kid. Hey, you a parent, take an iPad from your kid. You know what I mean? And watch what happens right in front of you. It's scary to realize the role we're playing in that, even with our own children. So yeah, I don't know how you could argue that it's not addictive.
Yeah, for sure. And by the way, YouTube is considered the category of social media. So like, even if I take YouTube away from my daughter, she'll throw a fit and start getting mad. And she's 2 years old, so it's kind of scary. Moti, do you want to touch on that topic? I know I don't have that question for you guys, but you want to touch on that?
Yeah, just going back what Tony was saying about the family gatherings and people on their phone. I mean, I think some people are on social media, and some people are playing games or sending messages out. I mean, I don't think that has nothing to do with social media. But as far as it being addicting, of course it's addicting. Like I was that person, you know. I was that person refreshing my page and my Facebook, checking up on people, checking up on their lives, and it got, for me, it got pretty lame, man. Like, you know, I was tired of that. Like, you know, I had my own life to deal with, and ever since I stopped, I'm not gonna lie to you, my life's been better, man. Because I'm a personal guy, and I'm a very private guy. So every time I put a picture up, you know, if I didn't get 100 likes, you know, I'm asking why. You know, and I think, you know,
wow.
I think it's addicting. You know what I'm saying?
Dave Farber, it seems like you want to comment on Moti's comments. So if you want to comment on that, and then also comment on is it addictive and why could be a bad thing.
I mean, it's definitely not a good thing. He must have been sad a lot because nobody's gonna give him 100 likes on any picture that he's in.
I was averaging like 125.
I know you was sad a lot. The only thing you got 100 likes on was probably when you fell in that food at one time. That's about it.
And then when you got 200 Twitter accounts, it ain't that hard to get 100 likes on one, okay?
Go ahead, Dave. What are you saying?
I mean, nothing is good. Nothing is positive about being addicted to anything. So, I mean, there's really no argument there. I mean, I've seen some great things happen with kids, you know, learning from YouTube, learning from certain social media sites. But again, if that's what they wake up and that's the first thing they want to do, then that's a problem. So I have no positives about being addicted to Facebook or any other social media.
Here we go. So we got some comments. First and foremost, my wife was laughing. She put cyberbullying is not okay. That's probably the worst thing about social media. And then she also mentioned that Coney Cafe and Grubbin need to update their pictures of the different foods that they have. She said that they're delicious foods. Just update the photos, Tony. Just want to mention that. And so we got some comments on Facebook, all right? So bullying can now occur 24/7. No escape, said Chris Donahue. You know, then Jesse commented, we have to remember that the role we played in all this, karma is the real deal. I'm 42 for the sins of 21-year-old me. Social media updates like these dings, the emotional casino. So that's basically what they were talking about in the movie too. It's like on a casino, basically emotional casino. It's like pulling the, I forgot what that casino game is, but whenever you check your phone, slot. Yeah, it's like playing the slot machine. Whenever you check your phone, you always don't know what you're gonna get. Then Ali said Dave started an OnlyFans page to pay for the haircuts, but pay for his haircuts. All right,
$40, man, killing me.
Yeah, that 40 the ball is definitely killing. You know, but there goes Ali checking in too. So let's move on to the next question. Dave, did I start off?
How's your haircut, Fami?
Fami, how's your haircut? Oh, he can't hear you now because we're talking about Tony's hair. So Motizzle, do you believe kids/teenagers should be on social media? Why or why not?
Listen, man, my kids, they watch YouTube, some for fun and some for educational purposes, man. Like, I mean, we're at home these days, guys, man. Like, you know, my kids are not getting enough at school, so I you know, if they're having trouble with a subject or a problem, I log into Facebook, you know what I'm saying? I let them watch a video, you know, and maybe that helps. But with restrictions, you know what I'm saying? I think with restrictions, it's okay. At the end of the day, you guys mentioned the kid, opening up the toys. He's worth $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, what are you saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So.
I guess, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple, I got a few kids here, I don't mind that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Dave Farver, should kids/teenagers be on social media?
Well, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, of course. Again, with like my partner said, with restrictions, I've seen some great things happen. I've seen a kid learn how to play the guitar. You know, I've seen kids learn how to assemble certain, different type of things. So for things like that, as being educational, of course. But I mean, again, you have to be that parent or guardian or whatever, making sure that, this is the time allotted for social media. This is the time where you're doing something else. Now, I've seen, honestly, social media be a parent to kids, and that's definitely not good for them. So, I mean, if you do it right, it can be a great tool for kids and teenagers.
Tony.
Yeah, also, I'm gonna write that. Also, man, I'm a fan of podcasts. You know what I'm saying, on YouTube, and I learned so much, man. I mean, when people are communicating and they're showing out information for us, I mean, I learn so much, man. I learn every day. I learn something new.
Yeah, for sure. Tony, I feel like we haven't heard from you in a while, which is very rare. So, Tony, do you believe kids/teenagers should be on social media?
Do I feel what?
Do you feel like kids/teenagers should be on social media?
Absolutely. I feel like they definitely should not be. I mean, my kid the other day, I don't know what he was watching, some blogger, some YouTuber, and he was asking me for a Gucci belt. I looked at him like, boy, if you don't get out of my face right now, Gucci belt.
How old, by the way? You gotta mention how old is
5 years old.
5 years old.
Gucci gang.
That wasn't easy. That's what I need to know. He tried to break it down for me, showing me, looking up all these shoes on his iPad. I'm looking at him like, what is $700? Are you alright? But listen, like any good social media can be a great thing. Like you said, people can learn from it. But the downfall of it is too much consumption. It's no different than any other, like prescription drug. For some, we don't drink, but for some, like alcohol is, could be for a good time, but too much of it can be very dangerous and very hurtful.
Jesse Dunn, you're nodding your head. What are your thoughts on that?
Well said, and I think this comes down to the condition of humanity, right? And I do believe that there were some great arguments made in the positive, especially they're talking about those podcasts and learning with kids. And, when my kids were little, we used to watch this, I Am the Sun, and you got the moon, and they learn the solar system. There is some tremendous stuff out there. But I'm going to bet you ain't watching as much as you. Actually, I'm not going to call anybody here. I'm going to say the average parent. The problem is the stuff starts getting into their brain, and it is a drug. We talk about the rise of ADHD. We talk about how we're starting to see these kids who they become not psychopaths, but they lose a touch and emotionality and how to communicate with people in real life. And a lot of that's going back to staring at that screen. And that screen is not reality, and yet it becomes reality. And as the brain gets younger, the harder it is for that brain to perceive. We know that like a 2-year-old, you're talking about watching a video, 2-year-old, you can still like poke your head around the door and disappear, and they don't know where you went, right? So what are you spoon feeding them from a small age? And I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying it's dangerous. It really is. 1984 was written back in 1948. They started talking about having telescreens in your house. You see, they're selling these mirrors for these women. I shouldn't say these women. That sounds sexist. They're selling this mirror thing where you work out with other people and you look at it. Have you guys seen these ads yet?
Yeah.
That is in your house. We know hackers can get in everything. And just think of I don't want to think of the vanity of watching yourself work out. Me, I'm in the gym. I'm looking at me too because that's the best looking thing in there. But you start doing this online, and it just, we all know that our state of reality is fragile as it is, and always has been for human beings. And there's a lot of data to support that the younger the kids are, the less they should. And I ain't no great parent either. My daughter's got an Instagram. She got 2. So that's all I just say. Like, it's how you manage it. It's anything.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The data does not support letting young kids use these things, especially unadulterated.
All right, and the biggest issue that we have, at least that's what the stats are showing, is mental health issues. Like I said, watching that Social Dilemma, it'll tell you that, suicide and depression rates have gone up to like almost over 150% for teenagers ages from like 12 to 18. So I'm going to let Tony start this question, which is pretty much our last question that I have other than our final word. And the question is, do you believe social media is a good or bad thing for someone's mental health? And Tony, I'm going to let you start, and then we'll go with Jesse afterwards.
I think we had the discussion before in regards to mental health, how real it is and whatnot. We all know mental health is it's a real problem. But I look at it from a standpoint of, and we've had this talk before, if you're focused on on your blessings, on everything you have, it'll take you away from everything you don't have. You can be motivated to get to what other people have, but the problem is you're looking at images and videos of what people have. Like it can create a lot of problems because you think that is the real life, when in reality that is a highlight reel of what's really going on in somebody's life. It takes you away, like you can't appreciate things that you have in life when you're focusing on what you don't have.
Yeah, for sure. Jesse, I see you did the clapping emoji. You're agreeing with Tony. What are your thoughts?
I thought to this: as human beings, we are moving from physical specimen to mental specimen, from beast of burden ourselves, who had to toil to build a home, to spend 16 hours a day to make sure you had food to get through a winter or a summer, to gelatinous blobs following other gelatinous blobs, arguing over things, and there's a real danger to it, you know. Actually, I'll save the rest of that for my final speech, but we are changing what it is to be a human being, and then it can be very positive. But as we move cerebrally into the mind, driving us more than the strength in the body, and we're not passing out every night to sleep because we're tired, right? Instead, we're staying up later because we can't stop thinking. And at a certain point, we're changing what it is to be a human being. And I want to thank you for doing these things, because it gets us that opportunity to have that debate, think about how we can best use it. But yeah, it's mental health is a real deal, and there's nothing more depressing than having a student tell you, what they can't have, what they don't get. And go back to them Christmas pictures. I'm not a big fan of Santa Claus. I fought with my wife tooth and nail. I didn't want to do it because why always get more stuff to the rich kids, right? And that's it get like going back to the kids you said earlier, but it creates a facade, and we've got to make sure that we're aware of that facade, because the mental health numbers are off the charts.
Dave Farver, do you believe that social media leads to mental health issues?
I mean, 100%. I mean, especially if you have a fragile mind already before even social media, because a lot of things that take place with mental health are from an early age. So I mean, if you're already in a fragile mind state, getting on social media can be the worst thing possible. I mean, because it doesn't take much to send you over the edge. You might see something that may not even deal with you, or might not be your story, but a similar story for somebody else, and you'll start, thinking those things within. So, I mean, definitely, I think if you have a fragile state of mind, I wouldn't recommend being on social media. But now, there are some things that, like personally myself, even if it's not somebody saying it to me, I might see something on the feed that make me smile, laugh, feel better. So, I mean, it's all dependent on the person. I want to find me a hypocrite. Hypocrite.
Go ahead. Why are you calling him that?
Because that was a great statement you just made about not worrying about what you don't have.
And what are you trying to say?
Take off the hat, man. Take off the hat.
Take off the hat. All right, Moti. There you go, Moti. The question basically was, do you believe social media is a good or bad thing for someone's mental health?
Yeah, man, mental health is definitely real. But Dave brought up a good point, man. Some people might be having a bad day and they'll see somebody's post and laugh and comment, or maybe even realize, hey, this guy's having a worse day than I am. Or cheer up off that. But I always had an issue with those that put all their business on social media. I mean, I feel like some things are private. Going back to the mental health, I think it's better if you call a relative or your or your spouse, and have that conversation with them one-on-one or her, better than putting it publicly. Because, Jesse brought up, the stalkers and the negative people that is going to love to see you having a bad day. They can't wait to jump in your feed or jump in your post and comment, and that's gonna make you even more angry, and it's gonna, build that mental, illness that you might be having, might be feeling that day, and make it worse. So
yeah, definitely. That's one thing I never did understand is people get mad at people, and they do share their information out there on social media. Unfortunately, when you do that, it's all fair game for anyone, pretty much. So this is the final word time. Final word on y'all thoughts on everything that was talked about today. Believe it or not, we're almost closing in on an hour conversation. That's how fast things go by. You got to check out the MSU versus Virginia game later on at 9:15. Big game for Big Ten /ACC challenge. Dave Farver, though, final word. I'm going to start off with you, Dave.
I mean, in all honesty, if I had my choice to pick, I would have probably picked the negative side, working in a school, you know, seeing certain things. But I mean, again, it's all of how, you know, it's policed. I mean, at high school age, it's a little bit tougher to police it. But I mean, if you're having those conversations with your kids and letting them know what's good and what's bad, I mean, that's all you can do as a parent, you know, now to try to help ensure that they're not on social media doing what they're not supposed to be doing. But I mean, again, if it's used the right way, it's a powerful tool. You can make money off of it. You can touch lives. So, I mean, it's just all about how, you know, that person or that young man or young lady is taught to use it.
Moti?
Yeah, there's definitely pros and cons about this. I could have jumped on either side and argued, but for me, as far as my kids, man, you know, everybody parents different. You know, everybody, you know, feel like, you know, their way is gonna work out, and so they, you know, go with whatever their way. But my way would be, you know, this is going back to, you know, having Omar in high school while my parents were gone. You know, I used to tell people all the time that, you know, as long as they're doing everything right in school, you know, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, they could kind of do whatever they want because they're having their business. You know what I'm saying? Who am I to, like, stop, you know, or prevent them or set these rules on them when they're doing everything, you know what I'm saying, the right way, or, you know, to my expectations. So as far as, you know, these kids having social media, I don't mind. I mean, some are funny. My nephew's got TikTok, and I think it's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? And until now, you know what I'm saying, there hasn't been an issue. So, I mean,
yeah. I want to say two things.
Issue with it.
Go ahead, Dave.
Watching your video. But go ahead. I'm going to touch on that. No, that's my only issue with TikTok. Is they're making them dumb videos. But go ahead.
I just want to say two things, and it's funny because that's one of the things I was going to say. Well, first of all, Dave said that if he had to choose, Dave, stop acting like you was put on pressure to be on that side, Dave, all right? You weren't supposed to expose that part, all right?
You told me what I was doing. I had no say.
Well, it's because Jesse and Tony both went to the other side, so I was like, I want 2 and 2. But the second thing is I realized that the first time Dave was on Moti's team, he decides not to show his face. So do we actually believe that
Dave is KD.
Yeah.
Dave is KD. Join the winning team, baby.
All right.
We won a championship.
Jesse Donahue, what's your final word?
Hey, by the way, before Jesse starts, I think it was by design that he put the older guys as the negative and the younger generation, you know, for social media.
By the way, Jesse just made a comment. He said there are only 2 sides. Jesse and Tony winning and the other side. Everyone else, basically. So, Jesse the Don Donahue, what's your final word?
All right, I want to dig deep on this one and keep it quick too, though. First off, I appreciate the opportunity here, but the truth of the matter is, you win and I lose on this argument of being negative because beautiful things like this. I met this goofy little Spartan fan in a DBSU classroom, and the truth of the matter is, we wouldn't be talking today if it wasn't for social media, just because of the lives we live. And I will. Omar's my friend, okay? I love everybody, but that's my friend. And it's been strengthened mostly through social media and communications. And we are living proof that you can create a brotherhood and share it, you know, just with conversation. So a lot of it does come back to, do we have a cold silence or a warm passing of time? And how are we doing it? And I just want to say, you know, and then we keep an eye on it as we grow. Humanity is evolving in front of our eyes. 2020 will be a year that's looked back forever, and it's going to be diagnosed, and we're going to see the beauty, and we're going to see the negativity. We're going to see George Chauvin in his house right now today while Brother Floyd, R.I.P., you know what I mean? Like, and what came out of it, and some of our eyes saw violence and destruction, and some of us saw a beautiful gathering of humanity that was driven again by social media, by getting people out there. So what we have, it's probably a little too much hyperbole, but to say the nuclear bomb of change, you know, it does come through here. The revolution will be televised. And, oh man, who was that? That was who's the Revolution movie televised?
That sounds very familiar. I forgot who said
Gil
it.
Scott Heron, right? And you can go back and see that for media, right? We are changing media, we're changing the world, and these dialogues are a beautiful thing. You know, we will bring the positivity, and we will be aware of the negativity, and we'll protect. You know, you got a 5-year-old son or daughter?
Tony. Tony's a son.
Son. Just wait till what Pornhub does.
You stupid.
All right, Tony.
Jesse's a man.
Tony, final word.
Hey man, I got a rule, man. As soon as you turn 18, you can download Facebook, Instagram. I'm old school, baby. I'm old school. Let me tell you something, man. Me and my wife were perfectly happy until she seen some post about some dude that got his wife flowers for no reason. Okay? I love my wife. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta get you flowers to prove my love. We've been married for 24 years, man. If that don't show love, I don't know what does.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys don't know WhatsApp. WhatsApp is considered social media. Yeah.
Cake. Bake a cake.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Tony. Definitely, social media has this impact sometimes. Negative and positive. But guys, that was fun. I appreciate you guys, Moti and Dave. If y'all want to, I mean, everybody can stay on afterwards because I want to tell you guys what we're gonna be doing next week. But again, Tony, Jesse, thank you so much for doing this. Dave and Moti, of course, I appreciate you guys. Again, this was another debate night for Motivate Me 313. If you guys have ideas, please message us for future ideas. We'll love to do them.
By the way, another negative note on social media. Dave's been saying Tony's my guy all week. As soon as he's seen a negative post from Ivy Thavitz, he starts going off on me negatively. Why?
Love what you have. Take off the hat. And Jesse, bro, I can't believe you said that Omar's your friend. You can never live that down now.
Hey,
you're done.
Jesse.
You're done.
I love him. He's my brother.
Yes, that's my brother Jesse. That's my brother.
Now, baby.
Yeah, Dave. So get that together. Get that.
Driving, man. You lucky he ain't drive off the road when you heard that comment.
Dave's my friend.
Yeah, Dave. You're our friends too, Dave.
Hey. It was PG. This about to turn rated R in a minute.
Hey, the 9 o'clock show, rated R. Alright, well, thank you guys for doing this. Like I said, you guys just hold on, guys. If y'all want to wait up, for everybody that's watching, thank you. Have a great day. And go MSU. Go green, go white. Hey.